City's a good team.
All right, welcome back. Chart Talk, episode 52. Theoretically, once a week, 52 weeks. We're a year into this bad boy. So congrats. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Stock Tips podcast is done for the day.
For the day, I'm fucking media man all of a sudden. The camera, exhausted.
All right, so we won't keep you too long. We want to jump into the market outlook?
Let's jump right in. All right, market outlook. So today, what we saw, we were wondering if the market was going to pivot here and continue higher as it attacks this macro resistance level. It was more obvious for the Qs where they've been in this uptrend. We talk about it every single week, and the trend is intact every single week. We saw that turnaround Friday, and we saw that follow through today. I mean, we have Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google all reporting earnings after the close Thursday. So, the whole market this week is going to be dependent on what those numbers are. But, that's really it. It's still in the trend. We pivoted where we need to in the NASDAQ. But, again, we have those earnings. What are you thinking over there, Benny?
So if you want to pull up that SPY chart I sent over.
Oh, I got it.
All right. So the reason I'm bringing this up is this past week I had a conversation with a small business owner, and he was talking about how he couldn't wait for the next Corona crash or pullback so he would load up on stock. And I asked him, oh, well, did you load up in March and February? And he's like, oh, no, I was terrified. I was trying to get out of the market. So I was like, oh, well, if you want to buy the next time, but you didn't buy it the previous pullback, why didn't you do it this time? And he had the puzzled excuse of I don't know, but I'm going to do it, which he probably is not going to. But that led me to this point where when the market's back at these prior highs, most are, again, waiting for that drop. When it happens, no one sees it coming. And that's when we can measure these pullbacks, and again, or crash, whatever you want to call it. Typically, the measure moves.
That shit was a crash. That shit was a crash.
That's what we'll call it,
pullback.
So if we measure that crash, that measured move,
that controlled 30% 3-week pullback.
So we can measure that move from a technical aspect. Usually, the breakout tends to be that similar move. So for me, looking at that crash, I would see the SPY going to about 460 in time. Maybe it takes a year, 2 years, but how drastic that pullback was, that next potential breakout through those highs, that's the move that I would expect to see. So again, that's just a more longer term thing. That's something that's going to happen in a week or a month or a year, but that's the longer term target that I'm keeping an eye. A little bit more shorter term, if you pull up that IBB chart, we saw today the semis and bios have been leading the market higher during this recent rally, where utilities, REITs, casinos, and cruise liners have been getting absolutely destroyed. So my focus for the next week and going forward is going to be on the semiconductors as well as the biotechs, like this IBB.
Nice.
And then lastly, Shake, you want to pull up real quick the P&L chart for some of the alpha members.
Oh, it's up.
Yeah, so we got Chris today, $3,800.
He's been on a fucking tear. I'm so happy he's back in the chat.
Yeah, me too. He took a little time off for studying for his master's, but I guess now he's finding time.
I know. I told him, it's you don't need your master's. Just fucking trade, bro. Don't be a teacher. Just be a trader. But no, it's good to see him back and killing it. Yeah. We're all doing really well right now.
Yeah. Moffat up 100.
There you go.
Abby's up 260. Tommy up 500. Moody Mo up $1,000 plus his contribution. Chris, which got cropped out, his $1,000 a day. Higgins 3,000. Everyone put up solid numbers, so it's great to see that.
Big shouts to Andrew Moffat. Got the new crib in North Texas. Place is monstrous. Shouts to the boy.
Yeah, it's looking great. I think with that, we'll jump into the member ideas.
Let's jump.
All right, so we got David Taylor looking at Microsoft, MSFT. He's looking to get in through 204, reverse that inside day low.
So you can't buy it against the inside day low. You have to buy it against the pivot. That's the annoying part. You could try to sneak in, yes, but you could get shaken out easily, and then you just know the real out is this pivot, which was the low from earnings where they pivoted. So, you just have to give it to this low pivot. Mm-hmm. It's a market leader, though, so I can't tell you not to buy it. We have someone asking about Microsoft every week. Someone asked about here, through highs, and we were like, fuck it, it's just market, it's just leading the market, and here it is, 10% higher from there.
Yeah. Next, we got Joe DeFrank looking at his VRM.
Yeah, buddy, they got me into this one at the end of the day. This is one I like a lot, this VRM. Wasn't really on my radar coming into the week. They put it in front of me. Looks really good. We've seen these IPOs going. If we can just blast through this 51-ish area, could be silly.
Why are you silly? Because you're silly.
Get it?
Next, we got Khan. He's looking at HRC. He was looking at their 117 to close through that, but
yeah, I know this level, this massive resistance level. Yeah, more of a macro trade, but it looks pretty good. You can't deny it. It kind of reminds me the macro level. Do they have earnings? Oh no, they have earnings coming up. I thought they had earnings already. Nah, not even worth your time with earnings coming up.
yeah, in a couple of days.
But keep it on the radar for them earnings.
Yeah. He's also looking at this cat through 140.
They got earnings Friday? Yeah, they got earnings Friday. Just wait till these things report. There's so much other action.
Next, we got Will Thompson, ACAD through 44. I guess 45.
This is interesting. You know, this looks like a nice little support buy, but again, earnings August 5th. What's, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 7 days away. You could still get a move. I mean, it's a nice little tight support buy, and for what he's looking for a little move back to 48, that could happen before earnings. But I'm in the camp of just avoiding things until after earnings at this point, for the most part.
Yeah. And the other one is the CCI through 170. It's a REIT.
Oh, fuck. Earnings earnings July 29th, according to TradingView. If they don't have earnings July 29th, because we can't always trust TradingView, I like that support buy. That's a nice spot.
All right, so we're going to skip on. We're going to jump onto Chris Mora. He's looking at this MANH through 100.
Earnings out the way? Oh, yeah. And that earnings high is 100. So here's the thing that he knows I love, and what we love is stocks taking out their earnings high of day. When they sell off like this on earnings, don't do much. Maybe a little inside day, but now it's just got a blue sky breakout ahead of it. So if it can break this 142 level, I like that one. I'll be in that one with him.
And
these are swing trades. These are pure swing trades. You gotta let these work. And what you want out of these things is what we got out of Snapchat last quarter, where it's like we got that 17 buy, and then we were in it all quarter because it gave us that long-term move. And that's kind of what you'd look for in this MANH.
And lastly, for Chris, he's looking at this cost through this 330 flag.
Oh, fuck. That thing is beautiful. I haven't typed up cost since it broke out of this little support buy, but that is a fucking beautiful type flag. Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot. How could you not?
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Earnings out of the way?
Yeah, earnings they don't have earnings.
So I didn't buy the support buy at 300, so I'll buy the breakout at 330. Makes sense.
Yeah. Next, we got Alex Smith, NTRA through 48 versus 46.
If they didn't have earnings so close, this is like another one of those situations where it's like pick your poison. They have 7 days till earnings, so maybe they make the move, or maybe they just kind of chop around till earnings. I like these. I've been falling in love with these support buys in upper level bull flag charts where it's like we know this name is strong, and this isn't like a hardcore support buy like we saw in cost a second ago where it's like a well-defined area, but there's a really strong name, and it's similar to this team that a bunch of us killed. I know Heaven crushed this trade and a bunch of other guys where it's like it's this upper level support. It's a really strong name, but it's upper level support, and that's kind of what he's looking at in this NTRA, and that's why I like it.
Lastly, for Alex, he's looking at TGT through that 126.
Target, yeah. I mean, this is a back-to-school trade. If you think kids are going back to school, you can buy Target. Well, it makes sense. They got earnings out of the way. Try to take out these highs. Yeah, I mean, can't knock it. Good setup.
All right, next up, we got Bobby Moore looking at FCX through 14.
Ooh, gold name, huh? Man, gold's been ripping. Nice little macro level. This 14 area. They got earnings out of the way. A little momentum flag in front of level. It's okay. This daily flag is just okay to me. I want this drawn out more for 2 more weeks. Give me 2 more weeks of sideways, and it's a good setup.
And we got another cheap name, RCM, another 1 through 14.
I've never heard of this stock. This is okay. I don't like how it just got to this level. I mean, and they have earnings coming up, so that... All right, so the reason that this is a no-buy with earnings coming up while the others might be is because you're buying the other ones at support. So, that's just a natural movement on the stock where buyers have the lead. But to buy a breakout a few days before earnings, that's kind of just a waste to me. So wait till they report earnings and see what's up then.
Yeah. Next up, we got Ben McMullen looking at ALLE through 102 versus 100.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. I don't dislike this. This is a nice little support buy. And we have a trade setup here called inside day support buy, where a stock has an inside day, holds up at a support level, looks like a disaster into the support, has the inside day, and just pivots higher. So this one actually makes a lot of sense. High risk reward potential in this one. I like this.
It almost kind of where it is now kind of reminds me if you look over at like May 13th, it had like the two days down, a push down through.
Exactly.
Kind of had
I
that.
mean, we've just seen this pattern come through for this stock, multiple times where like it looks like disaster coming to the support level, pivots, continues higher. So you're looking for that pattern to continue.
Yeah, even for that, I'd almost like to see like a flush down through 100 and then get that rip back up. But again, can't get everything you want. Next, we got Tommy Branner, JKHY, through the inside day high, through, I guess, 182.
Ooh, it's a really tight chart. Yeah, 180, 150, 182. It's a very tight area. I like that. I like that support buy. Just earnings far out. You got enough time. It's good setup.
All right, so we got a couple social media questions. We got Roy Morin looking at NIO.
Is this the car? This is the electric car play?
It's like the bootleg Tesla.
Yeah. I have a bunch of people asking me about this too because of Tesla. And this is just the electrical market is hot right now. Here's what you want to see is you want to see this gap area. You want to see this hold and push higher if you want to buy this stock. I have no idea what these fucking names are going to do. But from a price action standpoint, if it can hold this gap at 1050 and can push higher, then it looks like a good trade setup. I don't know about the news or the stock regarding this thing.
And then the other one, again, another crazy name, NKLA.
Yeah, there's another one.
Another way, yeah.
I know some traders buying that one today, but after it had that secondary, I mean, this is like, it's such a crazy low-key high beta name. I don't like it in this spot though right now, and they have earnings August 3rd. I liked it in this area, this like mid-July area where it was starting to pivot at that 50 level, and then they just had a secondary offering just to raise more money, and it tanked the stock. So it's like, I don't have a ton of interest in it at this level right now.
And again, nowhere near same space at all, but kind of similar parabolic moves. Like even if you think of like Beyond Meat, had that crazy run from 40 to 200, and it took months to pull back down, more than 50% retracement before it kind of had any crazy moves. And this kind of seems like another one where it's just needs to even get beat up more before there's going to be any kind of dead cat bounce in this.
Could be.
Yeah. Next we got Pink Z looking at PPD. Looking at it through 32 recent IPO.
Through 32? I mean, okay, that makes sense. They have this all-time high level. They have earnings coming up, so it's all going to depend on the earnings. I mean, it's going to be a common theme I'm going to keep saying here. And it looks like it needs some time to get back up to that 32. So, I mean, it'll probably depend on these earnings August 4th. So we'll reassess that August 4th.
All right.
If it has great earnings and it sets up for a buy through those highs, then absolutely.
All right. So with that, we after the social media questions, we can jump into the good trade, bad trade. We can start off with Adam Chatty with his AMD trade.
Is this good trade?
So this is.
Oh, all right, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got the green line, 58 he bought, and I believe he sold out through 59. Yeah, sold at 59. So he just pushed himself out before the big move.
Hey, Chatty, you want to feel better about this trade? So you see this little doji here? I had such a disgusting amount that I gave back $45,000 in this name, and I didn't catch this move on the way up. So I feel your pain, buddy.
Oof. That's
trading, baby. That's showbiz, baby.
All right, next we got Zebra, another one of Chatty's trades. Let me know when you have it up.
Yeah, it's up.
All right, yeah, so
You're killing these.
Yeah, so he bought up again horizontal green line. This is entry. Bought up to 55 versus low a day, tight risk support buy, kept moving his stop up, got stopped out around 265 into 269, sold all, and he's holding one share into earnings just, as a feeler.
Fuck it.
Yeah. And then next up we got Roberto in this space trade.
Oh my God. Let me tell you my quick story about the space trade. Probably the worst non-trade of my life. You see this day it went after 17? So we had a market gap up, and this was one of the things on the shakedown. And a bunch of people bought it. It opened 17.15, but I only wanted to buy 17. So I said, it'll pull in. And I didn't buy it. And here it is at 27.
So Roberto traded it, great risk board. He bought up through 18, stop with $17 risk, kicks him into 27.
That's a sick kick.
Like 10, 9 to 1, 10 to 1. And he's trailing the rest in the weekly, which for now I believe his stop is going to be below that 22.
What a baller. I love that. I love it.
Phenomenal trade. Next, we got Bobby Moore. We'll start off with this AUDC.
Oh, nice trade. Very nice trade.
Yeah, so he bought up initially through that 33 half, first 32 quarter. Again, the green circle, a little tricky because those green circles are the kicks, but kicked through for 3-1, 4-1, and then the last one was 6-1, and he's holding some with a wide stop. So solid trade there. Let's see. Next, we got first bad trade was this ACAD. So he bought up through 54 half, first 53, and just gapped down, and he got pushed out. And that just it's part of trading.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. I don't think that's a terrible trade. I just didn't think it worked out quickly enough for him. Like, he said his lesson learned was he has to see a higher close the next day. But the next day's action, while it didn't look great, it's still well within the trading range that he was looking at. So I don't think he can be too mad at himself for that one.
Mm-hmm. Next, we're going to jump into some of Khan's trades. First one is this VRTX.
Okay.
You got it up?
Yeah.
All right, so he bought through his 296. Got a quick pop. He says, again, he should have taken some off into that pop. No follow through the next day. The only thing for me, he got that pop the first day. Second day kind of reverse. I just don't get why it was like 2 more days later that he finally got out. It seemed like that first reversal they should have had like a break even or low a day stop. Kind of should have been out there. So looking at it, for him to lose 10 points in this name really should have been a break even loss or like a 1% loss. I just think you need to tighten that up a little bit going forward. So we went over the number good trade, bad trades. Sheikh, do you want to go over any of yours?
Yeah, I'll start. We were in this lemonade all week. We didn't get that Friday love. Man, it stunk. So much open P&L given away. So we've just been killing this name off support. Bought here type thing. Bought some here, added this day. So then it gives us that turnaround. I bought 80 versus 78. And at this point, I only kicked 25% of my position because it just looked like it was going to go. This was Thursday, and here's Friday, and then this opened on a Friday, so it's only giving us 6 days on Fridays. And then we had a big market gap down that day, and this kind of got pushed down with it. And it's almost lucky that I got pushed out this day because Goldman slapped a fat sell and a $44 price target on the stock, which is a little scary. I'm going to continue to watch this price action, and then. I keep talking about that NASDAQ trade, and I just keep taking the same trade in some sense. When we see this NASDAQ turn around at support in some way, I'm either buying stock or I'm buying the QQQ like we saw here. I bought it Friday. I didn't buy it heavy, but I have such a great risk reward on the trade that I'm getting paid on it. And it's just such a simple setup. And it's similar to that, what was the member chart that he was just looking over, the inside day support buy, whatever that was. It's the same thing where it's like, yeah, it looks really bad when it's coming into the support, and then we see that buying come in again, and those end up being the best buys. So that one worked out well. What else? I hopped into this biotech today, pure buy stop, wasn't even by the computer for it. KRYS, just trading this one against 40, pure swing trade. I like this WSM a lot. I got into this one today. Upper level bull flag, nice level. At 88 right here. And here's why I liked it. We saw this big day, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever that was, then controlled pullback and then a pivot. So now I could buy this through this high, that area, and give it to this low right here. So I like that one. That one looks nice. And then I got in this VRM with them end of the day with the boys. I know Chris and Joe are in it. I don't know who else is in it. This one looks really fucking good through this 5150 area. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, buddy. What are you up to?
So I got the first one will be Intel. It's a good example of why we get out before earnings.
Wait. My mistake of the day?
Excuse me. Am I interrupting? I'm interrupting. I'm interrupting. I should leave. Should I leave? I'm going to leave. Can I come in?
Mm-hmm. Being a lazy boy, doing my own thing today. I missed the trade of the week. Trade of the week was 33.50, 34 in this ACCD, and then we look at the intraday chart and how it triggered, and it just flagged at the level all day, then just ripped and broke out. Big mistake on my part not being at the desk for that. So that's some easy money to make. That's a perfect setup. All right, but you go.
All right, so we go back to Intel. If you have the chart up.
I got it.
So I bought up earlier in July up through 60. That first where they were kind of flushed through, just continued to flag. I added back up through 60, moved the stop to break even at that point. It went $2 in my favor. Again, we talked about with concept where it should have been something where you needed to break even. This is something where I do almost religiously, where once a trade is in my favor, it's quickly move to break even as possible. I got out before earnings, and Intel, didn't do so hot. As you can see, it gapped down 10% plus overnight, and now it's a completely different trade. So this is something where, had I not gone out to earnings, which is something that we always harp on, I would have been stuck in Intel down 10, 15%, and been trying to work my way out of it, where now I'm out break even, and I can buy it for 52 in a few weeks or a month or whenever it's ready again.
Can I comment on Intel? Not your trade, but Intel had maybe some of the worst earnings I've ever seen. So they've been hyping up how they're coming out with this new chip, and then they lost so much money last quarter that they were like, it doesn't make economically viable sense for us to produce this product for another 6 months. That's why AMD is raging so much. Intel is just like, all right, we're fucking done.
They're the old guys on the block.
That's it.
All right, so next we got J&J.
Got it.
Again, so for this one, I was looking to buy up through 150 back in the beginning of the summer. Got in a little bit too early, and this is a recurring theme with some of my trades. You get into early, then I find some better spots to add. Added up through 140, added up through 144. So I helped kind of bring that initial cost basis down. Saw it run into that 152. I kind of circled it. We could see those dojis where just some indecision. So at that point, I just decided to move the stop up, higher than where it was. Got the initial stock out for break even and made some money on those first two ads. So it was a decent trade, nothing too crazy. And then lastly is this PFPT. Similar story with J&J. Yeah, with J&J, was watching that base through 118. Got in a little bit too early at 116. Continue to base, add up through 112, add up through 114. Kind of help bring up that my cost basis. And I saw it run into that 124 and quickly come back. And when it ran back into it again, we started to see some of those dojis. For me, it was, let me just take this profit into this move since some of my cost basis wasn't the best. So again, for J&J and PFPT, decent swings, not the best. Intel, break even, main takeaway of why we get out before earnings. So those were my 3 main trades for the week.
Good stuff.
All right, so you want to jump into top idea?
Yeah, I mean, this VRM is just setting up really nicely. I see it gapping up a little bit after hours, so that could this gets volume through 5150. I think that one could really fly. Mm-hmm. And then WSM is just such a nice. This is like, so I have the crazy name with the Vroom, and then the old school bull flag with this WSM. Looks really good.
Yeah, I like W.
And it's a massive earnings flag. That's all this is. If you look at the move it made, so then it flagged this in the last month and a half. So this is a really nice setup.
Yeah, I even had that one in the big picture as well. So I'm with you, with William Sonoma as well. And the other one is this IIVI through that 52.
I like that.
This is one I came across today, doing a little charting, and it just blue sky breakout through that high.
52 through 48, Cheech. But yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the feeler, and then the macro level 52.
Yeah. I like that.
So I think with that, we'll jump into book of the week.
All right, let's jump in. Bennett, I got something you'll love right here. I didn't even crack this thing; it just came in. But it's called Bias. A CBS insider exposes how the media distorts the news. I know you're going to tear this one up. So apparently it's just an insider talking about the different methods they use and things like that, and how everything is made to make you feel an emotion, all the headlines, and that's kind of their goal in doing it. So this should be exciting to crack into. What are you reading up there?
I got Howard Stern's Come Again.
Nice.
All of his all his top interviews over the years. I'm only 80 pages in, but he went over like Ozzy Osbourne's interview. Now he's apparently sober, but back in the day, his daily routine, he would drink 3 bottles of Hennessy, 2 30-packs, and then plus whatever drugs he was doing. And this was daily, every single day. He did this for years.
Oh my God.
So they
anything is possible.
Yeah. But the one cool thing is he goes through his kind of transformation from the very cocky disc jockey at the beginning of his career as he kind of matured over the years and focused more on the person interviewing versus trying to be the loudest person in the room. So it's been a pretty interesting read so far. A lot of funny little one-liners. He just, but funny read. One of the trading members recommended it.
I'd imagine in his 40 years, he has some sick lessons that he's learned.
Yeah, I mean, the one surprising is like I even remember we were super young when he kind of first came out. He was always known for like having like the nude girls on like the show and everything. You
Yeah.
would think that he was like getting with all these girls, but he was in two extremely long marriages, like decades long. So he like portrayed himself a certain way when behind closed doors he was, a very monogamous guy, which I thought was kind of surprising.
Have you ever seen the movie Body Parts?
Yeah.
Classic, huh?
Just, on
Yeah, he's a
on
monogamous
VHS.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one on VHS too. Sneaking that one. Oh. All right, let's get out of here. All right.
Okay,
Tune in
well,
next time. Thumbs up, all that good jazz. See you guys.
All right.
All right.